Voluntas Institute is a secular institute of consecrated life founded in 1958 by Father Louis-Marie Perrin, OMMI. The institute was granted the status of secular institute of diocesan right in 1965. 22 years later, in 1987, the Voluntas Institute was recognized as a secular institute of pontifical right. The institute is made up of priests, permanent deacons, celibate laymen, candidates to the priesthood and the diaconate, and married couples as associate members. It is secular because our members, while living in the midst of the world, are consecrated by vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. In this way, we support the initiative of the world by assuring an evangelical dimension. Like all secular institutes, we are defined by three essential elements: secularity, which means we live in the world like Christ did; apostolate, which means we work in the midst of the world; and consecration, which means we give ourselves to God for the same world. A particular grace of the Institute is our charism. We are called to live out our lives like Mary did. Despite her worries when asked by the angel Gabriel to give birth to Jesus, Mary accepted. So we are called to be like the Virgin of the Annunciation, accepting to carry out the will of the Father in the midst of the world. Our charism reads, to be like the Virgin of the Annunciation, the instruments of Christ living in the Father's will, within the reality of the present moment, in the midst of the world, wherever Christ has his rights. As for the spirituality of the Institute, it's very important on how we live our lives and serve God and neighbor. Our spirituality is simple. We are called to live our lives by living what we call the 3 5s, and they are as follows. The first 5 calls us to a life of intimacy with the Lord through mental prayer, meditation, reading of the Word of God, attendance at the Eucharist, devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, and a devotion to the Virgin Mary. The second 5 calls us to develop above all the spirit of contemplation, humility, and fraternal charity through 5 major attitudes, and they are as follow. Presence of God, which means we are called to think of God frequently and seize every opportunity to increase our union with Him. Absence of criticism, which means we look upon others with a positive attitude and welcome the presence of Christ in them by abstaining from negative criticism. Absence of complaint, which means we develop our sense of wonder to discover and welcome the presence of Christ in events while abstaining from all destructive complaints. Being of service, which means we accept our responsibilities fully and love to serve our brothers and sisters freely and eagerly in the footsteps of Jesus. This is, to love and serve God by serving our brothers and sisters. Being peacemakers, which means we strive to maintain peace of heart. We commit ourselves to establishing a climate of justice and fellowship in order to be instruments of reconciliation within our communities. The third 5 calls us to seize the opportunity each day to perform at least 5 acts of charity in order to practice living our contacts with others in a positive manner, as Jesus taught us. Since we do not live in community like a religious order, the team is the heart of our consecrated life. Fraternal life among the members is essential. The secular life in a secular institute is not like living in community, but our teams meet on a regular basis. This offers an opportunity for sharing, animation, and a renewing of one's motivation. During our times together, we will share our living experiences, listen to the Word of God, share a meal, and much, much more. As a result, it helps us grow in our relationship with God. For more information about the Voluntas Institute, please contact the following: or visit our website at www.voluntasdei.org.
See the way they love one another, see the way they care for each other. It's simply amazing the joy that they share. Mais plus fort que bien des paroles, vos regards toucheront les cœurs. La plus belle des paraboles, c'est le chant de votre bonheur, de votre bonheur. Je voudrais qu'en vous voyant vivre, étonner les gens puissent dire, voyez comme ils s'aiment, voyez leur bonheur. There's a calm and peace in its giving, and there's trust at its very core. It's so clear, simple, it's so living. It's a love that's forevermore. That's forevermore. See the way they love one another. See the way they care for each other. It's simple and certain, but you love S'il est vrai qu'on reconnaît l'arbre en voyant la beauté des fruits, je voudrais quand ils vous regardent, ils y voient les fruits de l'esprit, les fruits de